The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Legislation to secure the border, but it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah.
What bugged you so much about that?
It turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Oh, God.
This was one of the most unabashed, most partisan speeches they say they've ever heard.
Yeah, there were so many points, John, where he sounded like candidate Trump.
A decidedly partisan address from President Trump last night.
Wow, it really seems that statement ticked the leftist media off. I wonder why.
Republicans keep saying Biden doesn't need Congress. He can stop what's happening at the border all by himself. Can you fact check that for us? Because we here all know that's not true.
The president actually doesn't have the authority under law to do that.
There's only so much President Biden can do.
The president insisting there's only so much he can do without Congress.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. It's another week where Trump is president and the media just can't deal with it because their guy was just so awesome.
I'm quite confident that 10, 20 years from now, when they're ranking presidents, Joe Biden will be doing very well.
Boy, Biden did especially good on that border, didn't he?
And he did try to do whatever he could.
They actually are doing everything they can.
The president's hands are tied.
Pointing out Biden's open borders was only one reason that the media hated Trump's address. I mean, they found plenty of others. I mean, can you believe Trump was kind to a 13-year-old cancer patient, making him an honorary member of the Secret Service? I mean, that is just awful.
And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters.
Wow. I guess you mean Trump supporters like the young man himself, DJ Daniel?
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
As if the president had something to do with that.
The media just hated Trump's address to the joint session of Congress. Even before it started, they were trying to hatch protest ideas.
What should they do? Should they sit and listen? Should they get butt naked and dance around?
For fear of going on trial at The Hague for crimes against humanity, Nancy Pelosi and Rosa DeLauro kept their clothes on. Instead, they just scowled a lot, and some old man shouted out a cloud.
Can't you just use this recent photo?
No, that's the wrong clip. The leftists hated Trump's address almost as much as they hated the president for encouraging Volodymyr Zelensky to consider the bizarre concept of using diplomacy to work towards peace.
What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
Zelensky didn't sign the mineral deals last week. He just dissed diplomacy and therefore was asked to leave the White House. So Democrats reacted just like you would expect them to.
It was a pathetic ambush.
Political ambush. I don't think this was a accident.
I think an ambush.
I guess Trump and JD just knew Zelensky was going to trash the concept of diplomacy. I mean, that's why they invited him to the White House, right? But since their leftist masters said it was an ambush, the media had received their marching orders and found their word of the week.
An Oval Office ambush.
An Oval Office ambush of an American ally.
What can only be described as a total ambush of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
An ambush? This was a politically calculated ambush.
Premeditated ambush.
Oh, it's almost like they are puppets for the left. They just can't deal with Trump or his supporters. They don't want to be friends if you think the government Leviathan could be downsized.
Gutting our government, firing people. I do have a hard time being friends with that person.
Yeah, they really don't want to be your friend unless you want to allow a man in drag play sports with women and then go shower with them in the locker room.
It's become a really successful political talking point in the culture war for Republicans. And it's very painful to see many, vulnerable people in our society targeted like this. A painful issue that seems to me that it should be best left to families and their communities and their doctors and, not the stuff that we talk about on the news.
It's a super powerful talking point, and I just want our audience to know that it's not true.
The media says cross-dressers stealing awards from women in sports, it's just untrue. I mean, to say otherwise, well, that's just like McCarthyism.
Many of today's Republicans are McCarthy's ideological descendants, and one of their primary targets now appears to be the LGBTQ community. In fact, just yesterday, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a law removing gender identity as a protected class in that state.
Oh no, cross-dressers will be treated like, well, like everybody else. The horror.
Which is why this is not going to stop only with trans people. We now see it moving to gay people, and it's going to move to ever larger groups of Americans.
See, if you don't let a man in a dress go to the women's bathroom with little girls, it'll bring about the persecution of all Americans. It seems like a totally logical argument.
It's a great group of people from their perspective to see what you need to do in order to remove people from public life.
Well, the left has never been known for logic. I mean, years ago, National Lampoon magazine used to cover threatening to kill a dog as a joke. But now the New Republic actually uses that headline in their efforts to rally against Doge. Elon Musk's Doge cuts could kill your dog. Yeah, it's true. The left is actually this dumb and desperate. I mean, they'll do anything to throw their dwindling supporters a bone. I'm Eric Shiner saying, doggone it. Go check out the MRC homepage. Click on that donate button. Visit MRCTV.org for all the latest in videos, information, and entertainment. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos on the platforms that let you see us. And we'll be back soon with another look at leftist media madness.